Alright folks, welcome back. This is one of those very rare videos. It's going to be very long. And if you're not into old school Magic cards, a lot of high-end old Magic cards, a lot of history of this is not going to be the video for you. Take a seat, relax, sit back, run in the background, whatever you want to do. We're going to go through Magic's history. This was a very, very large transaction completed here in Florida. And I apologize for getting this video out. You're probably not going to see this video for a while. This transaction took place, I think this started in January of 2021. So by the time you see this video, it's probably going to be, we could be towards March or April, folks. So there can be a little bit of a delay by the time this communication started. The deal was completed and the transaction was paid. Everything was done. This was a very, very large deal, and it includes, we're going to go through it. We got a stack of alphas, we got betas, we got revised, we have over here, we've got Power 9, and we're going to go into the Four Horsemen, Arabian, Legends, Antiquities, the Dark. And then, of course, we're at the end of the video, too, we're going to talk about bulk cards. A lot of these bulk Four Horsemen common cards that seem to be very sought after nowadays. We got some conversations of what I think of the future of that also. So again, thank you to the gentleman who allowed me to purchase all this, and I hope you guys really enjoy everything. And hope you guys really like to see all these cards and actually go through it with me. So let's jump into this. So first, we're going to start with the alphas. All right, so I already went through these things and audited just to make sure there was nothing counterfeit. So we're going to show you guys, these are just going to be some uncommons and commons in alpha. You can see, again, not super high and gradable. A lot of these cards were played. They were loved. So a lot of really cool cards here. He's even got some price tag stickers. Not really sure what the deal was with that or if these were from a store or sold them. Again, Crawworm, that's funny. Don't forget, 6 mana for 6/4 vanilla back in the day was considered really good. And of course, we got some alpha basic lands, a ton of alpha basic lands in this particular batch. Over here, we got the nice beta cards here. I don't think there is many rares and crazy stuff in this pile. God, look at the coloring on that COP red man back in the day. Isn't that crazy? Unholy Strengths, Infamous Imps, Uncommon Knights, beautiful original Sinkhole, very well loved there, man. That thing's seen some gains. Seen some games, man. The old Warlords and Giants, common uncommons, common trees. Oh, Northern Paladin, we got ourselves a rare right in the middle there. And Dwarven Demolition Team. In case anybody didn't know, Open Boosters, his favorite card is actually this. This is like his favorite beta card. Go figure. Dwarven Dem, not the Power 9, the Demolition. The little crazy dwarf guys in the artwork. Isn't that crazy? I always think of that card. I always think of him now, because ever since he told me that. And of course, Living Wall, don't forget that is a baby and a fetus in the middle of the card, so I just ruined it for many people who didn't know that was there. So if you didn't know that was a baby fetus in the middle of that artwork, you will never unsee that, and I ruined it for you. You're welcome. Common, uncommon COPs. We got some Guardian Angels Healing Solves. Oh wait, some of these are actually, I think it's actually alpha, those corners. I think I got it in the wrong pile. And of course, some Howl from Beyond, some great old school creature pumping action, the instant spells. And Evil Presence, uncommons there. Cursed Land, uncommon. Orcs, common. Fireball, common, but special. Disintegrate, common, but iconic. Minotaur, common, but very iconic. Shatter. False Orders, love the art. You know, it's funny, it reminds me of the scrolls and the new, like, the Saga cards. Believe it or not, most walls are uncommons. Blows my mind. Walls were deemed like a special thing from the early days of Magic. Super crazy, man. But of course, they were always cheaper than normal cards. If it didn't have wall, if this was a creature, they would charge more. You always got a discount for the wall. Jumps and Serpents, another steel artifact, invisibilities, forces, life taps, unsummons, and a bunch of sprites down here. Yeah, there are some alphas and betas mixed together there. It wasn't very well sorted. So that is that batch. The reason I showed you guys that, just to show, because number one, they're beautiful. And two, I'm just a big fan of common uncommons and basic lands of the alpha beta stuff, man. I really just think those are special cards, man. Those are just, I know there's no high-end rares and anything. We had a Northern Paladin rare. And there's not a lot of value, like they're not thousands of dollars for common uncommon, especially in played, but they're just really cool cards, man. All right, so we're not going to put a lot of time on this, but this is an entire brick of revised dual lands. Now, as you can see, some of these things are nasty, heavy played. Some of these things are almost just straight up damaged. I mean, nasty, heavy played, all the way to very nice, clean ones. So we've got a pretty big variety. So you can see right here, we got a stack of the Underground Seas. Again, mixed, all conditions on here. We got Tundras that are clean, white, nice and clean and crispy near mint. Then we got very nasty yellow stained ones. We got a bunch of Tundras right there, big stack of the Tundras. And the old Trops right here, similar situation. It's fun. It's always funny on the camera when you hold them up to each other. The first time people, I always get one person, Rudy, did you notice a tropical island? that bordering is more brown. That one's more gray. There's 2 different tones. One of those might be fake. No, folks, that is normal. There were 2 different variants. And so we got a bunch of tropical islands, a little nicer condition. This one's a little dirty and rough. That was the biggest thing people didn't like about white border cards. Look at the dirt and stains on there. People always complained about that. All right, so we got some taigas over here. A big stack of the old taigas. Again, all conditions. You can see some weird ones. You can see some very clean ones there. Nice variety of Mr. Taiga there. We got savannas. Savannas. Similar situation. Holy cow. Similar situation where some of these savannas, look at these top 2, are really clean. You got that third one's pretty clean, and then it starts getting a little dirty, a little nasty. Some get really dirty and rough back here. Some of these things get really, yikes. But you got all kinds of really cool conditions. And again, that type of wear, I still don't think is that considered bad or evil. Sure, it's not as good financially for grading and investment, but it shows a story, man, of when they were played. The amount of games they were slid on the counters and played is really cool, man. Bunch of bayous, same thing. There are more gray borders and also more brown, so just keep that in mind. Nice stack of the old bayous. And we got the old scrubbies. Scrubbies over here coming through with a nice stack of scrubbies. You see some very nice cleaner ones over here. You got some little more yellow ones. You got some dirt at the top on some. Nice variety of them. Some very clean. Nice variety of scrubbies. Coming over, getting towards the end here, folks, an army. An absolute army of plateaus. Holy smokes, an army of plateaus. That one's weird. Is that one like moisture, water damage? A lot of cool stuff there. And then, of course, at the end here, a couple volcanics. Not too many volcanics there. Ending with a nice stack of Mr. Badlands. So, final thoughts there again. Been saying it for 5 years on YouTube. Just sitting back and I'm waiting for the day dual lands are $1,000 a pop, especially for the clean minty ones. Now, I do believe that the played dual lands are never really going to hit $1,000. I think I have a very, very hard time believing that there's going to be, a bunch of dirt-stained, yellow, faded borders dual lands selling for $1,000. But you would need the mint ones to essentially go to $2,000 a card for the damaged play ones to become $1,000. That is going to be very, very difficult to do, especially the sheer volume and supply of revised duels is very heavy. All right, boys and girls. So now we're going to go into some of the other really highlights of this collection here, and I want to discuss this with you all. I think this is the part of the video I'm most excited about, and actually I'm pretty excited about the end of this video when we talk about the bulk cards. But all right, so let's get right into the juice stuff here. We're going to start with the let's do this here. Let me get this out of the box safely. Hang on, folks. All right. So let's start with the top here. We're going to start with the most obvious here. We have a unlimited white border Black Lotus in this collection. We'll take a closer look for everybody out here just so you all know. Very nice surface on there. Definitely some nasty wear on the side there. Got some black dirt stains. And of course, so yeah, this is definitely, again, you can still grade more weird played, even Lotuses and things, because it instills a lot of credibility in the market if you're looking to sell the card. Now, obviously, I'm not looking to sell the card, but if I was, I probably would never sell a Power 9 card unless it was graded. Even if it's graded a 5. I mean, there's nothing wrong with sending it for grading, even if you get a lower grade, just to instill that confidence in the market. So we got an unlimited time Walkaroo here. Very, very nice card. Again, very well loved actual wear from being slid around on tables and actually being played in games a long time ago. I want to make a quick comment. Isn't nobody find it interesting that you can get an unlimited power card for, I don't know, $2,000? And people think that's crazy and a ripoff. But like they're saying now Modern Horizons 2, I'm hearing about, supposed to be out later this year. And I'm hearing like a case of 6 collector boxes of Modern Horizons 2 is going to be like $3 or $4 grand. Yeah, I just want to lay that out there. I've been hearing rumors about that. I don't have any proof yet, but all right. Now this one's a nice time vault. Now this one's actually really clean. This is a little off center, but beautiful, nice, clean white borders on that one. A little bit of wear. We do have the nasty little roller line, actually double roller line. You can see the white line. I can get Rudy's tool if you guys want to see here. Hold on. Rudy's tool has entered the chat. You do have, unfortunately, there it is, and the nice, nasty little line right across. You can see it pretty deep right there, all the way across there. And then this one's a little lighter, but it does have the double roller line, which, again, pretty common. Well, I'd say about, 30% of all unlimited cards. So let's jump over here. So we do have some, by the way, those are the only actual 2 technical Power 9. I call Time Vault Power 10. Some people call Library Power 10, but, to each their own. technically, those are our only power cards in this collection. Now, whew, here we go. We got unlimited duels. So we do have a good stack of unlimited duels. Very well loved and played. I've told you guys many times how much I love the unlimited cards. It's just my personal thing. People always are just like, I don't get it, Rudy. You always talk about the white border lotuses. I have more unlimited lotuses and power cards than I do of the alpha and beta combined, because I love the unlimited set, because it's the only way to get white bordered power. It's just a personal thing. I've always felt that way. Obviously, I should have bought more alpha betas, but hey, whatever. And of course, dark print, volcanic. And again, these are the weird cards also. The illusionary masks. Those are the ones I think still have huge potential. The dark print icy from Unlimited, very special card. And of course, the only white bordered chaos orb to ever exist in history. The Unlimited Chaos Board. Absolute piece of history. Again, Force Field, Illusionary Mask, Gauntlet of Might. These are the type of cards. Cyclopean Tomb. Those are the type of cards I really like. Oh, these are actually signed with the infamous Dan Scribble Frazier. 2 unlimited uncommon Ice Storms. Nice little rare cards here. I actually love Raging River. Believe it or not, Shivan Dragons from Unlimited. These things have just been nuts, man. For the longest time, I was buying these things for the last 10 years for like $10 a card, and now they've finally moved up in price. Same thing with Forks. These cards have never really been that expensive, especially Fork, because you had a revised edition version, which always stunted the growth. Now over here, Demonic Tutor, not reserve list, not anything like that, but dude, it's the only white bordered. I mean, amazing dark print. I mean, technically you have revised, but it's the dark print white bordered, man, amazing. And of course, Dr. Lich, some people call him Leech, some people call him just the nasty zombie guy, some people call him Walking Dead. Very iconic special card there, folks. Just saying. All right, anyways, move on to the next little batch here. We got ourselves very nice, these are those Timmy weird, bizarre, kind of rares from Unlimited that nobody cares about that I've always liked. Like, this was one of the cards I collected as many alpha versions, Volcanic Eruption, and I got like 10, 15, 20 alpha Volcanic Eruptions, because it was just such a cheap, cheesy card. It was a card I was always buying. Mahamati, again, iconic. Another volcanic. Living Lands, I always thought that was underappreciated. The old Gaia's Liege. The infamous Liege, guy with the giant beard. A lot of people love that card. Not a huge fan. Dr. Cock over here. I mean, this is a card I just like putting on camera. So, like, if you have family walking around your house and you're watching a Magic the Gathering video, I can sit on the camera and just scream cock. Because the cock card is just one of the cards that, no matter how many cocks you have, I'm still just not a big fan of cocks. You gotta have fun in your life, folks. Enchantress, absolutely stunning, beautiful woman. I got nothing to say. Just awesome card. Another cock, very heavy played. Oh, this cock has seen a lot of use. Oh my god, this video is terrible. Personal Incarnation. Always felt that was an underappreciated card. Pure Lace, I hate them. I hate the lace cards. Wrath of God, very cool. Blaze of Glory. This is another one. This was one that was removed and not in revised. So this is the only version of this card that you can get in white bordered from Unlimited. Lord of the Pit, Contract from Below's, very cool contracts. I love the contracts, man. Such an iconic piece of history there. What are these? Oh, I thought there was art on the back. Nether Shadow, never a big fan. I know there's people who love that card. That I love Rock of Courage's, man. I don't know, call me cheesy, like high school, middle school Rudy. The 4-drop, 3/3 flying with nothing else. And that just comic book, hand-drawn art just did it for me, man. Granite Gargoyle, never a fan. Mana Barbs, Mana Flare, I know it's Two-Headed Rudy. Goblin King, another Rock of Kur, love it, love it, love it. Word of Command. This is an interesting one. This is one of those cards where, I don't know. I'm uncertain about a card like that. Royal, Nightmares, Mind Twist, very iconic cards. Last few Unlimited. Last one, I'm sorry. Ending on Mrs. Queen of the Magic World. I know, next to Lily. Vesuvan Doppelganger. Absolutely amazing. Never gets old seeing that card, man. Never gets old seeing that card. All right, so let me move over some of these Unlimited cards, and then I'm going to give you guys my opinion while I'm doing this. I still feel Unlimited remains probably the most undervalued thing. I don't understand how some of these cards are as cheap as they are, even in 2021 with the price increases. I just can't comprehend that you can buy unlimited dual lands for, how much is an unlimited Badlands on eBay? What, $300-$400 range or something? It just blows my mind in an era where Wizards is selling product and new things so expensive, and the old stuff that is truly rare and scarce is just not commanding certain prices. You know? All right, so now we're going to get into some weird stuff, folks. Hope you guys are tagging along here. This is the Dark. In the Dark, the Mana Vortex, obviously the Goblin Wizard. These are cards that have the potential to run to the $500 plus range. Mana Vortex can hit over 100. The Blood Moon, and not so much, been reprinted a million times, not reserve list. You know, cards like Exorcist. These are cards that do have a lot of room to run. I believe a lot of these cards in the Dark are reserve list, and these are just weird cards, man. I mean, just literally, you know, 2-drop 1/1 just starts, you can ping and just do direct kill, you know, black creatures. I mean, really crazy. Preacher, very iconic card. Everybody knows. I mean, this is another one of the cards that can make it to the 500 range. I've always felt that. Now, the Mishra's Factories with the different seasons, the spring, fall, summer, winter, these cards do have a lot of room to run. Even though they're not reserve list, the originals are very, very sought after. Certain cards, original printings really do mean a lot, I'm telling you all. And of course, we've got ourselves, let's get over here. We do have, of course, some good old strip mines. Strip mines, again, they're going to be very limited on the upside because I don't see strip mine as demanded for in the original printing as I do like these different seasons. The seasons of these factories are just I can't emphasize to you how nostalgic the seasons of the factories are to a lot of old school people. Strip mine, same thing, but I don't see them as strong as the factories. All right, so over here, again, we do have one workshop in this collection. Definitely seen some play on here. Definitely very well loved, but very, very cool card. You know, I said for years that the workshop should have been a $2,000-$3,000 card, and now people are talking about a $5,000-$10,000 card for the workshop. And you know, it can get there. I think it can get there. I know it's goofy sounding, but you know, I think white border lotuses, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50K. You know, I think these things, 5,000, 10,000. I know these numbers sound crazy, but I think a lot of us really do forget that we are in 2021. Do we realize how far we are into the future? And then think about 2025, 2030, 2040. These things can get there, folks. We're going to be talking about things that are going to start hitting 30, 40, 50 years old, and they are just truly scarce, and they are in high demand compared to the supply. These are things that can get there. I know it's goofy. I know the numbers are going, oh my God. But people said the same thing when this thing hit $1,000. People said the same thing when white bordered, you know, time walks and time twisters were 1,000. It's all relative, and I think we all lose sight many times of how many of the years and the time flies by, and we lose sight of that. The inflation, the cost of everything, minimum wage going to 15. I mean, minimum wage will probably be $20, $30 an hour in the future. You've got to be able to kind of rewire how you think about things, folks. All right, Maze of Ith. Again, cards from the Dark. Maze of Ith, very limited, reprintable. Maybe not the original art. It's gonna grow, but very limited because of the reprint. Now, these City of Shadows and these weird cards like that, I'm on the fence about. Some of these weird little cards from the Dark, I have no idea about. God, that is a gorgeous card, though. I don't know what the future is going to hold. That's an unknown to me. Playset of Arabian Night Mountains. You guys remember I did a video the other, or I guess it's not the other day. There was a video a while ago, or a week ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. When was it? Wasn't there a video? Or maybe I haven't published it yet. Never mind. I was going to talk about Arabian Night Mountains. Maybe I didn't do that. You guys probably think I'm crazy right now. All right, so there's a bunch. Now, these are weird, too. These uncommon legend cards. Like right now, Urborg and obviously Caracas are the big ones. But some of these other weird ones, like for example, Teleria was always an interesting one to me. But again, these other ones are regards to banding. Nobody cares about banding. That's the problem. See, when you look at some of these things, people just... Now, this one's interesting. This one back in the day was actually more powerful and played more often than today because it removed the land walk ability. And it didn't come into play tapped. But the problem is land walk, having mountain walk, forest walk, that's something that's, you know, every once in a while now there's cards that just say creatures can't be blocked. But the whole land walk thing is kind of over with. Pendelhaven, by far. How is this card in original printing with this artwork, with that much power, this cheap? To me, this is, you know, this card blows my mind. It doesn't come into play tapped. It gives you a colored mana versus colorless. And it can pump a creature, and it costs nothing. Blows my mind. Caracas, of course, you know, you can boomerang cards. I mean, it is what it is. Not much to go into Caracas. Again, banding doesn't care. All right, so next we're going to get into these things. Some of these weird artifacts is next here, folks. All right, so these artifacts, These are some of the huge gamblers unknowns. These mana matrices, Arena of the Ancients. These are cards that are reserve lists that were like $5, $10 at the most for like 20 years. And in the 90s and 2000s, these were like $1 bulk bin cards. You know, these are set collector reserve list chase cards, but nobody's playing with these essentially. And I don't know what that means for what kind of growth they can actually experience. Okay, so now over here, Underworld Dreams. Now this is a card, I love Underworld Dreams. Original printing. Dude, I would love a giant oil painting of that card. I mean, Underworld Dreams, not reserve list, love the card. All Hallows Eve, okay, I know, broken record. For those of you new to the channel, part of the 4 Black Horsemen, okay, All Hallows Eve, Chains, Nether Void, The Abyss, the 4 Black Horsemen of Legends. I said it 4 or 5 years ago. All of them should be minimum $1,000 a card, and people ridiculed me for years, saying All Hallows Eve should be 1,000, Nether Void should be 1,000 plus. Chains should be 1,000 plus. The Abyss should be 1,000 plus. People laughed at me. Well, I hope somebody out there listened. All right, Field of Dreams. God, I first built my position in this card in 2015, 2016. I remember talking about this card when it was $15 a piece, and I remember thinking, why is this a $15 card? Yeah, I know. Acid Rain. You know, I'm not a fan of the card. I wish it said like destroy everything in play, but I get it. Acid Rain destroys the trees. I get it. I do. All right, Telekinesis, a really underappreciated card. Recall, overpowered, ridiculous. Land Equilibrium. Ooh, that's a good one to talk about here. Okay, so Land Equilibrium. This was a card that I'm very surprised doesn't get more attention than it does. I don't know. I always thought this was a very weird card that had a lot of room for shenanigans, and it has a nice Bob Ross generic artwork on it. Mana Drain, best counterspell in the game. All right, so we're heading to, are we Arabian Nights? No, we got a few more legends here. I guess they're all mixed up. I was like, how did we get that? Okay. Well, we got one Arabian Nights Singing Tree with the infamous tree with the mouth on it. Cracks me up. Still the best card ever. All right. Living Plains, Eureka, and Willow. Okay, this is a great example. The biggest difference between these 3 cards, this has always been famous. This was always a meme. And this was always underappreciated in my opinion. Because of that, I always thought Eureka should be 1,000. The Plains should be 1,000. And the Willow, I never even really knew existed until recently. When I was in high school playing back in the night, I didn't even know this. I mean, I was just like, what is this card? So again, more examples of just bizarre Magic history, man. So, anyway, let's just keep going in the video. Let's just keep going. All right, so like I said, I'm going to kind of stop here in a second, go through some things, but we got the Crossroads. Here's more of these weird Legends cards that I always felt were just mispriced under. And now the Crossroads is recently, I heard. Now, I don't think this is a cheap card anymore, but for the longest time, because this was a reprint in Chronicles, really remained stunted in price. Technically not reserve list. The Authority, oh God, here we go. All right, let's take a moment here. So here's an interesting, okay. So what is that? Oh, Mana Crypt, okay, promo, okay. So Moat, obviously Moat is a very infamous card being known. What was the guy's name? Was it, start with a C, was it Charles? Chris? Craig, it was Craig. There was a guy years ago, when I first started my channel in 2016, 2017, that did the very first public buyout on Moat. And he bought all the Moats that were like $100 a piece. And when I say all the Moats, he bought like maybe 15 of them and pushed the price to like $200 or $300 or something. And then he sold some or to $400, then it went back down to $200. I don't remember. And I'm telling you, like I've told you guys all along, hold the cards. If the dude who bought the 15, 20 Moats, God knows whatever happened to this guy, if he had just held the 20 Moats he had bought for like $100 a piece, Moats are $1,000 minimum card. The dude would have 10x'd his money in a couple years. I guarantee you all, he didn't hold the Moats. I wish that guy would contact me with a picture, because I remember what he looked like, with a picture of him with the Moats in today's date. I wish he would contact me. All he had to do was hold on to the card. All he had to do was hodl the card. Hodl. Hold the card. That's all he had to do. Divine Intervention. So many speculators buy these cards like this, all these weird things. These are just bizarre. I mean, the artwork is nuts, man. Look at this artwork. Like, there's an angel booty right there. There's an angel's, I mean, look at this artwork, man. Dude, Amy, you are out of control with your legendary epicness. Like, this artwork is just beyond. Okay. Mana Crypt, book promo. yeah, I don't have much to talk about. All right, we're moving to Arabian Nights here. Actually, you know what? Before we move to Arabian Nights, let me put the cards in. Let me just talk for a second. You got me wound up. I got all wound up on the Moat thing. That's what I've been talking about all along. The situation with like the original Moat buyout and that guy and the whole thing. What he did was he recognized a card that was underappreciated. It was undervalued. He saw Moat selling for $100 and he thought to himself, why is a reserve list Legends card that's one of the most powerful cards ever created in Magic's history selling for $100? He saw it. I give him credit. He saw it before I saw it, and he made a move, and he bought, I'm just going to say 20. I don't even think he bought 20. I think it was like 13 or 15. Well, he bought 20. And I guarantee you, he flipped them. Probably made 50, maybe 100, maybe $200 a card, maybe made $2,000, $1,000. Where in reality, if he had kept the 20 moats in a cost basis of 100, and today they're worth 1,000, are you serious? 20 moats at 1,000 a piece would have been 20 G's. He'd be up $19,000 versus making what? $1,000? That's the difference, folks. That is the difference between the Timmy mindset, the short-term get-rich-quick, the shortcut, the flipper. I'm sorry, hold on, for the Pokemon people out there. The evil scalpers. Ooh. Gotta use these dramatic, harsh words, right? Is that what we do in 2021 on social media? Evil, terrible, lying, scalping, manipulating, whatever people say. Who knows? What do we put? I should just pick a random card and say that's what we're manipulating today. And that I just wanted to point out the story of the Moat, because I don't know if a lot of you are around who are watching this channel. I don't know how many people were around back, 4 or 5 years ago when this started. And I will never forget the story of Moat and that guy. And I remember thinking to myself, this is a guy who's going to just turn around and dump him back to the market and make a little bit of money, and then you're never going to hear from him again. And that's exactly what happened. And all I thought to myself, that guy has no idea what he's holding with those 20 cards. And if he just holds on, stays the damn course, he is going to walk into a future that's going to be epic. And if he just expanded the concept that he had started, he knew the cards were undervalued. He saw what I saw. I get too wound up. I get too passionate in this stuff, man. People always send me messages. Wow, Rudy really is passionate on the old cards. Dude, this guy's nuts. Yeah, my life. You guys don't understand what these things mean to me, man. All right, moving on. Arabian Nights, folks. Sinbad. Oh, God. Old Man of the Sea. One of my first Arabian Night expansion cards next to Singing Tree over here. Singing Tree and Old Man of the Sea were the very first cards I got my 100 copies of. Old Man of the Sea, I was paying between $50 and $80. Singing Trees were $20. I'll never forget that. I absolutely still love the card. And even today, on this collection deal, I think I paid $200 for this card when I broke it down. Still worth it. Aladdin, Ally from Cairo. This was a card always had value. Nobody's surprised, blah, blah, blah. Very iconic piece of Arabian Nights, $1,000 card all day long. Now, these weird little Sorceress Queens and weird cards like this, these are cards that can go up, but they'll never make it to $1,000 cards. All right, now the Djinns over here. Is that written on the card? Please tell me that's not written on the card. I just realized that. Did I not take that out of the sleeve? Please tell me that's not written on the card. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I was like, please tell me that's not. Oh my God, I had a moment here. I was like, I totally didn't take that second sleeve off. Djinns, same thing. $5,000, $10,000 cards. Represent Magic's history. 4-drop, being in the color black with dark rituals and everything for 5/5, and 1 damage on your upkeep doesn't mean anything. Life total is essentially a resource. It's looked at differently. Guardian Beast, probably one of the most under-talked about and appreciated cards ever, man. Jihad over here, again, another card that, great card. Never really got the love it deserved. Maybe it's because of the evil name or whatever this stuff is. Isn't this one of the banned cards because of the name? I don't know. Who cares? Shahabar's Rudy. Honestly, I just love the chick. Look at that long, dark hair, beautiful brown skin. I just love the chick. Sorry. I got problems. I like the card. King Solomon, I like his beard. All right, so we're going to move over here for a second. Let me get some, are we going to, we got a couple Arabian Nights cards. Pyramids and City in a Bottle. Put the other ones back. I guess we can talk about these two real quick. This is an interesting one. All right, so on this, City in a Bottle is a card that we always knew was going to be special. Okay, I don't really have much to say about it. It's just a card that it kind of speaks volume. We all knew it was a special card. But the pyramid thing, I think the guy's a patron. He might still be a patron. The guy who did the pyramid buyout, I don't think he's wrong. It's not a card I would have picked because I don't think it's that iconic. It's missing that kind of special it factor. But it's a card that is going to hold value. It's a card that's going to continue to do well in the next 5-10 years. And, it's not my first choice, but I think it's going to perform well for him. And I think it's going to perform well, just like all the other reserve list cards from Arabian Nights. Now, again, the difference between the pyramid guy who bought all the pyramids and the Moat guy, the pyramid guy paid attention and has been doing this, and he realized that you need to hold the damn cards. And if you wait and hold the cards, the long term, you get the largest reward. Straight up. He knew it. He figured it out. He knew that a while ago. Seriously. Anyways, moving on, folks. All right, so we're going over here. I guess we can talk about the world famous Power and Transmute, the little duo over here. Like I told you guys a little while ago, I always felt that these things stayed at like $80 to $100 a card. Transmute and Power for years, and they finally moved to the $200-$300 a card. It's very weird how that one was very stuck on the price. Archaeologist, Rudy's favorite card. We've talked about it a million times. You guys know that's my favorite. Candelabras, I always said were a $1,000 card. I think they've actually reached that now. Now, these are those weird cards. Like, now we're getting to Caverns of Despairs, Falling Stars, Storm Worlds, Gravity Spheres, the Phoenix. A lot of what I like to call really weird mid-tier reserve list cards. Not bulk garbage tier 3 like, Homeland's Fallen Empire reserve list, but still very kind of bizarre cards that people mostly buy for set collecting or just speculating on. Especially then the Legends set, you have the millions of, oh my god, look at that artwork. Isn't that crazy, folks? A ton of Sting, very cool. All these bizarre gold art, Elder Dragon Legends, the originals. So we're getting towards the end of this here. Then I'm going to clean all this up. We'll talk about bulk. You can see a ton of the Legends gold cards here. A lot of good variety. People always have been speculating on these, especially the Arcade Sabbath, Chromiums, Nicobolas, Palladium Moors, Swamp Kings. Oh, Adun, Overlord, Kirkheap. There's a lot of these things. Nebuchadnezzar's, Ladies, Dakin, Blackblade, Half Danes. A lot of different speculative cards that people have really done over the years. And then, of course, you get out into the more, again, very bizarre reserve list cards. The Tempest of Freets, the Disharmonies. I still can't believe Kobolds have really not been a thing again. I thought for sure they would have brought that back by now. And, of course, we're going to end the video over here on the expensive cards with we've got ourselves an Angus McKenzie, which, I still remember signing an Angus McKenzie at GP Vegas one time. Thought the dude was crazy. So I was like, dude, Angus McKenzie's going to be a $1,000 card one day. Mirror Universe, $1,000 card. And, of course, Rudy's favorite magic woman, the infamous, seductive and evil, but you can't resist her, Gwendolyn. I know. You'll never see that crap again in the modern times. And, of course, a few Arabian Night cards hiding in the back. Infamous Elephant Graveyards, Diamond Valleys, the Wackety Walks, and, of course, Loas in the back here. Not much to say. It's Arabian Nights. You guys know how I feel about that. So, overall, before we go into the bulk conversation of this video, very honored. I get very excited. Like, it's like a big deal to me when there's a major transaction goes down with a massive amount of old cards and a very massive history and the variety of a collection like this. It's a really big deal to me. Like, it's like a special extension moment of me where I go through it, I audit it, I merge it with all my master collection, and it gets locked up. And, it's a very special thing to me. So collections like this, a collection of this size, I'd probably say this type of collection's like once a month, I would say, of this caliber. When you start getting above that 20, 30, 40, 50,000 plus collection size, it's not really a daily, weekly thing because you run into a lot of different challenges. You run into pricing discrepancies where the one party says, this collection, Rudy, I want $250,000. I'm like, dude, I can't pay you $250,000 for this. Now if someone comes along and says, well, I'll pay you $40,000. Okay, well, I think that's within the range of plus or minus 10, 20% higher or lower, depending on the exact condition, where we can actually work and the numbers are realistic. But it depends. You have to go through a multiple sets of kind of hurdles to really find what kind of seller you have. Are the cards legitimate? Does the seller, are they ready to sell everything? Are they wasting your time? Are they literally just price shopping and just sending all kinds of crap out to 100 different people? It's, you got to really determine and make those judgment calls along the way when you look at very large, very wild collections like what we're seeing here today. So that's why also, I usually only have a video like this published on YouTube. I would say probably videos like this. What do you guys think? The really high-end stuff, maybe once a month, maybe I publish it every other month. These aren't a very common collection video of this caliber. Now, we do a lot of videos and smaller collections you guys see on my channel. Probably what? Once a week, maybe every other week. That's a lot more frequent. But when you get to the very kind of top tier stuff like this, the frequency really does drop quite a bit. And, I'm going to go ahead and say it. As we progress more into the future, ladies and gentlemen, the quantity of these type of collections and what's really left out in the world and all that is going to continue to reduce. I'm telling you all. There is not just endless amounts of these cards out there. I'm serious. All right, so last part of this video, I got everything cleaned up. We're going to move over. As with when you deal with a lot of very large collections, they usually tend to have very large amount of bulk cards also, even of the older Four Horsemen bulk, which is my personal absolute favorite category of bulk. Now, I know we're to the point of the video where I don't know how long this video is, 30, 40 minutes. The amount of people watching is probably down to less than 1%, if any at all. So I want to be on record. There is actually a lot of opportunity in these very strange bulk cards. So starting with the dark over here, a lot of these cards, no, you're not going to make millions of dollars and get rich on cards like this. But a lot of these weird, like there's only a couple gold cards in the dark and you're looking at them. And then a lot of these bulk cards, the goblins. Look at those, look at the gremlins. Not goblins, look at the gremlins from Antiquity. Look at their eyeballs. Some Antiquities cards. You've got all kinds of these things. The rats, you got Banshee, you've got all these Word of Bindings, the Bogs, the Murk Dwellers, the Imps, the Marsh Gases. Hey, Cursed Artifact. You got, hey, Ragmans, those are kind of decent. Uncle Istivins, Grave Robbers, Marsh Gas, Ashes. In other words, you're dealing Sisters of the Flame, Fissures, and Goblin Hero, Goblin Diggings, Goblin Lafarge, Goblins, Shrine. Hey, Eternal Flame, those are actually a few dollars. But overall, you're not dealing with any cards that are going to be probably over like $10 a card. These are all going to be lower end cards. Now, what's interesting is percentage-wise, these cards probably have the most room to run in the next 5 years. Because some of these cards, like here's a great example here. The Martyrs here, this is technically a reserveless card. It's like one of the cheapest reserveless cards there are, but it's technically reserveless. In COP Artifacts, it's technically not a common. You see what I mean? So there's a few cards here. Hey, there's a, not worth anything, but yikes. I was going to say, there's an actual Silex, but it's completely damaged. Looks like water damage on it. Completely bent. Okay, anyways. You got Soldiers, Undoing, Crumbles. You got Dragon Engines, Rocket Launchers. Hey, a couple little Blacksmiths. Now, here's a great example. A card like this is in bulk bins from the last 20 years that nobody cared about. This is actually a decent card that I think has room to run into the future. I'm serious. I know it's goofy sounding, but I genuinely think a card like this can move. A lot of these Antiquity cards, all these mechanics, sages, reverse polarities, statues, catapults, staff, tablets. There's a little blacksmith there. Little spears. I love the infamous artwork on Wall of the Spears. Infamous artwork from the old Sandra. Very recognizable, never worth much. Blacksmiths again. And of course some artifact blasts. There's some ATOGs. Amulets, battering rams. This pile is probably pretty similar here. Yeah, see, now this one's a little different. You got some interesting uncommon legends. Voodoo dolls, horns, relics, gaseous barriers. Blacksmith, Timberwolves, some walls, Faint. So what I'm getting at is on these type of weird things. It's an interesting dynamic because you really can't sell or do much with these single cards online because most of these cards are going to be under $5. So you really can't make any money unless you literally just stamp envelope and throw a card in the mail and kind of cross your fingers you don't have a buyer that's going to steal from you. But I genuinely think in the future, and it may take another 5-10 years, I actually believe, and I know this is going to sound stupid. I already know, which is why I'm doing it at the end of the video when I know nobody's watching. That's why I'm saying this when I know no one's here. I know. I actually believe all these bulk cards are going to be literally $20 to $50 a card. Yeah, you heard me. Like maybe not this is already Arabian Nights and already sought after, but like goofy, stupid cards. Like a Sage of Latinum. Like, this card is goofy. People only buy it if they need it for a set, but the artwork is iconic. It's a very special piece of Magic's history. It doesn't. What is it valued today? What do you guys think? $1 at a retail store? What's a buy list? 5 cents? There's no financial value, but I'm telling you all, there's going to be a point in the future. I don't know if it's 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, or 50 or 200 years when I'm long gone. There's going to be a point where stupid bulk cards from the dark like this are going to be sought after, and people will grade them, and people will buy PSA 10s of these for like $500 a card. I'm telling you all, I know it sounds stupid, but you have to play the long game. Real wealth is always created in the long game. Historically, it takes a minimum of 10, 20 years to create true wealth and become like a master at a topic or a skill or a trade. You have to really devote yourself very long periods of time. And what you all just saw today, I'm telling you all, very bright future. Stay the course.